Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayela. This is part two of the yesterday podcast that I did, and I uploaded on my YouTube yesterday. So if you haven't watched it, it's available on my YouTube channel. So before we start this, make sure that listen to this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or you can listen to this podcast on on my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True podcast. Make sure to notify, like, uh, leave your comment on any video that I posted, and also that I posted in my community. So make 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 sure that the comments make it that I can see, and also that I will respond. But before we start that, I want to take gratitude and sadness that what happened in Washington D.C. That the airplane and the helicopter crashed each other um, in Washington D.C. in the river. Rest in peace, those people who has passed away. Any family members, I lost those people during this plane crash. My condolences with you, and my prayers are with you also. So rest in peace of those people. But let's start right now with the NBA All Star. The NBA All Star reserve has been um, revealed. So I want to share it with the All Star with the All Star reveal this actually it posted yesterday while I was recording the podcast. So we're gonna read the reserve. I already said about the opinion about um the starters. Now let's start with the reserve. So over the East, the reserve of the NBA All Star in the Eastern Conference, we got Darius Garland from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Cade Cunningham first time All Star with the Detroit Pistons, Damian Lillard with the Bucks, Tyler Hero first All Star with the Heat, Jalen Brown from the Celtics, Ivan Mobley for the Cavaliers, and surprise, Pascal Siakam from the Pacers. Let's go to the Western Conference. So you got Anthony Edwards from the Timberwolves, James Harden from the Clippers, Victor Wembanyama first time All Star, Jalen Williams from the Thunder first time All Star, Alperen Sengun first time All Star with the Rockets, Jared Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies, Anthony Davis from the Lakers. What are my thoughts about this? Um, I was okay with the Eastern Conference. I'll be honest with you, I was okay, and because I knew I said this for the Cavaliers, if it's not four All-Star players, they should have three players represent for the Cavaliers. So I knew in my mind, I know Donovan Mitchell will be in it, Darius Garland will be in it, and I was tussling between Ivan Mobley and Jared Allen. So I would not be surprised if it was Ivan Mobley. So and I wasn't surprised, but at the end of the day, I wanted four Cavaliers team, but three, I'm pretty much fine with it. In the Western Conference, it is loaded. I was pretty okay. Actually, I was pretty much surprised with Jalen Williams and James Harden, both guys, because I know, and I will talk about a couple in a minute about who got snubbed with OKC. They're having a great year, and With the Clippers, nobody saw it coming after losing Paul George and Russell Westbrook, so I was pretty much surprised about it. Now, who got snubbed? Let's start with the East. Who pretty got snubbed? In the East, yeah, there's like three players, in my opinion, who got snubbed. One, LaMelo Ball, Trey Young, and in my opinion, in the East, if I had to look at the East, be honest, ooh, this is tough. The East, ooh, who got snubbed in the East? I know Tyrese Halliburton did not deserve. He had a not a good year. I'll say he doesn't have a good year, so I don't think about him. Um, who else was Paolo Banchero? Yes, Paolo Banchero. I was surprised about him not making an All Star. Yes, yes, and I think the injury played a huge factor. I'm not gonna lie, but Lamelo Ball and Trey Young, they got snubbed. For Trey Young, I think the coaches don't like his game. That's my personal opinion. I don't know why they hate his game. I think his game transcends this era. Um, especially shooting threes. So I was pretty much surprised. Lamelo Ball, that really hurt me. I'll be honest with you. Lamelo Ball deserves um an All-Star consideration. I don't know why. Why? I think his team is not that good. I don't know why people would say the All Star is about the individual and the team. I don't know what is true right now, but for the uh Lamelo Ball, I was pretty much surprised like everybody. I'll be honest with you with the snub. Over now to the West. To the West, I mean the West conference is very loaded. I could name a lot of people who got snubbed who should be deserving to have an All Star. So let's start with Norman Powell. Norman Powell, I mean, my God, this year he was fantastic. He was fantastic this year. Without Paul George and Russell Westbrook, he said, let me, even without Kawhi Leonard, I mean, he has balled out this season, and nobody thought the Clippers will be in the top eight, top five, six seed in the Western Conference. But also, you can say James Harden deserves it too because it's pretty much a redemption for him, which I couldn't understand why, but it's James Harden. So Norman Powell surprised me. The second one who got snubbed, Jalen Green. Jalen Green got snubbed. Um, I know because the Western Conference much more of a forward over the guard. So Jalen Green, I was surprised about him. Another person who got snubbed, Devin Booker. He got snubbed very badly. Uh, Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's another one. He got snubbed because uh, his team is in the top four seed in the Western Conference. So I don't know why. I don't know why he got snubbed. Kyrie Irving, he got snubbed. I can think about it because without Luca, he had to carry that team with Klay Thompson. Don't forget about him. With Klay Thompson into the Wild Wild West conference. So this is pretty shocking to me about that. But also, there's a news that Anthony Davis, he's injured. He got an abdominal, something like that, his injury. So we will see who's gonna replace him. Oh yeah, there's a couple of people too. Sabonis, he got snubbed. I mean, my God, maybe Sabonis will replace Anthony Davis. Uh, you probably don't know. So Sabonis is another one. De'Aaron Fox is another one who got snubbed. John Morant, he got snubbed. I mean, phew, that's why I said the Western Conference East, it is loaded. Whew, I mean, it is loaded. I don't, so I don't have an issue with it, but this couple of people who should have deserve to be an All-Star, they didn't make it, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the world for those people who did not get selected. I mean, you still an All-Star in my eyes, but um maybe next year, a couple of years, you guys are gonna be an All-Star. Uh, oof. Now for Victor Wembanyama, congratulations. He's pretty much a transcending player in this generation because he's the future of the NBA. Maybe the face. I don't know about that, but he really transcends this game. So congratulations to all those players who got selected, and I wish nothing but the best. And probably I'm not going to see the All Star game. I'm probably going to see the highlight, but I will review the All Star game on the air in the podcast. So don't worry about that. If you wonder if I will not review the NBA All Star, I will. So don't worry about that. But before we move on the next topic, I just want to say that we are recording on Friday the 31st of January because it's press like 11:37 when I am. So that means tomorrow is gonna be for me February 1st. So I am recording this on the 31st January, and I will post it on February the 1st. Just for the people wondering. So next topic, we let's talk about Terry Rozier, the guard from Miami Heat, has been in a legal scandal with gambling. Uh, they are trying to do an investigation. So now I'm showing you that we're going to read this from the New York Post. What is what is all about? So let's read this. Let's read this. According to New York Post, Jonte Porter may not have been the only NBA player involved in manipulating performance from sport better. The federal investigators are looking into unusual betting activity relating to current Miami guard Terry Rozier during his time with the Hornets, according to the Wall Street Journal report on Thursday. So the U.S. Attorney Office did not immediately comment on the Heat and the Hornets, both referred to the NBA statement when he asked to comment. The 30-year-old Rozier left on March 23rd, 2023 game after playing the first 9 minutes 36 seconds on that contest, and not only did not return that night, citing a foot issue, but did not play again that season. Charlotte had 8 games remaining and was not in playoff contention, so it did not seem particularly unusual that Rozier was shut down for the season final game. In that March 23 game, Rozier finished with 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in that opening period. A productive quarter, but well below his usual total of output for all full game. So let's continue. Rozier has not been accused of a crime or wrongdoing, the report said. In March 23rd and 2023, my apologize, the NBA was alert in unusual betting activity related to Terry Rozier performance in a game between the Charlotte Hornets versus the New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Hornets, New Orleans Pelicans, my bad. When I think about the Hornets and I think about the Saints, my Saints. So the NBA spokesman Mike Bass said the league conducted an investigation and did not find a violation of NBA rules. We are now aware of an investigation by the U.S. Attorney Office for the Eastern District of New York related to this matter and have been cooperating with that investigation. That's according to uh, Mike Bass. So the better of the time discussed that there was inside info going around that Rozier would leave the game earlier. At least it was in on it today. On one X user at uh, at I don't know how to say this, but I'll try my best. So Gene Renberg posted, got lucky that I was fed some inside info that Rozier was leaving in the first or second quarter, depending on the game flow on live line, so that his under would hit. So what he said then. So So this is according. So this, look at what the user said. So the user posted a picture of a bet on Rozier under the FanDuel of 122 $102 $122 bet, which won 100 on profit. Prior to being acquired by the Heat, Rozier averaged 23.2 points per game with the Hornets, but had fallen dramatically to 12.1 per game this season. Rozier is currently on the third year of his 4-year, $96 million contract that he signed in 2022. So this is I can't read it also. Let's say $96 million. So that's a no, $1 million, yeah. In contract and he signed in 2022. So this is what it said. So there's a lot of comments that have been said, but I want to read this one last time. So Porter, a former Raptor player, was banned by the NBA for life after he was found to have limited participation in games for betting pursuit. He pleaded guilty in July to wire fraud conspiracy. You see? So what am I thought about this? I will. What am I thought about it? Man, this is pretty much where sport is right now. I mean, uh, now sport is becoming a betting. I mean, what was Terry Rozier's mind was going through after he did that? I don't know if it is true. Let me be clear. This is just allegation. It doesn't mean it's true, but this is allegation. So this is what my thinking is. I mean, why do you have to bet, especially you are a player, which I don't understand why a lot of athletes try to bet against their team and lie their injury, you know, and the next day they go to somewhere and they get the money. I mean, I don't understand why they doing this, especially you're a professional athlete. If I understand you're a regular guy person who is just trying to bet, that I could understand. But with athlete, I mean, they should do something about it. And I don't know if it is true. Did he bet? But if it is true, I think he should be suspended for the next year. I think he should be suspended because I don't see why should not why he Adam Silver should suspend him. I think he should, and or yeah, and I think it should give a warning to every player in the league that if you guys we find out that you bet, you'll be kicked out of the NBA and never come back. I think that's the my mindset if I was Adam Silver. So that's my opinion about it. But it's just an allegation. If it is true, he had to face severe consequence. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know why. That's my opinion. It comment on the video. Comment on the video about the Terry Rozier allegation of betting on my YouTube channel, and I want to hear your thought on it. What? So leave your comment on on the video about the Terry Rozier bet investigation. Before we move on, you've seen it, I am wearing the same T-shirt that I wore yesterday. So so and then pretty much did not change. So that I just wanted to keep it for the part two of this podcast. Moving on from the Terry Rozier, let's talk about Adam Silver. He want to shorten the minute and except to go to 12 minutes, we're going to 10 minutes. And he kind of like it. So I'm sharing the video, I'm sharing it right now. So let's read this together. So Adam Silver said he's a fan of shortening the NBA quarter to 10 minutes. Also floats idea of free throw change. So according from James Herbert from the CBS Sport, the NBA the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has always maintained that he is open to discuss potential change, even radical one. Silver cares about tradition and he hasn't spent the 10 plus years implementing weird gimmick. But dating back to his first board of governor meeting on the job, he has wanted the league to be able to adapt when necessary. You could tell right away that it was going to be different than any meeting we had before, an owner told Lee Jenkins than the of Sport Illustrated in 2014. More people, more exclusive, more collaborative. Any idea that came up, he said, I want to take a fresh look at it. I want to take a fresh look at everything. With that in mind, when Silver appeared on the Dan Patrick Show on Wednesday, Patrick asked him to share his wildest idea that the NBA has considered. One of the that only being discussed a little. It wouldn't be is necessary in the category of being so wild. It's potentially two free throws for a foul and 3-point shot. Silver said. I don't necessarily think I would do it in the last 2 minutes of the game, but I think that's something interesting. Let's continue. A rule change would benefit aggressive perimeter defenders. Ball pressure and physicality are already trending upward, and this would lessen the penalty for what is not the worst outcome of the pressure and physicality. It's not sure that it's necessary if they were implemented. Wouldn't be consequential. According to This is according to the PBPstat.com. There has been 610 3-point shooting foul in the one uh, 1,030 376 game league-wide this season, which meant its average game feature of 0.4 of them. Silver is definitely right to suggest that he would make sense in the last 2 minutes of the game. If you think anything now when the team fouled up three late in the game, imagine what he would happen if the team were insensitive and certain. It's sorry, there was a thing on my computer. So let's continue. So if you think it is knowing when the team fouled three late in the game, imagine what would happen if the team were incentivized in certain situations to foul 3-point shooter on the shot. Second wild idea Silver told Patrick is changing the length of the quarter from 12 minutes to 10 minutes. Silver described himself as a fan of this but said that he was probably in a minority on it. As we get more involved in global basketball, the NBA is the only league that plays 48 minutes. I am a fan of 4 10-minute quarter. I'm not sure that many other are. I mean, putting aside that what is meant for record and things like that, I think that our 2 hours format for the game is more consistent with modern television habits. Still, we clarify that people in the arena aren't asking us to shrink the game, but the change will be likely be welcomed by but at home viewers. He referenced the Olympic basketball game and college basketball game are generally about 2 hours long. The same is true of WNBA game. Over time, he said he would like to help create a more consistent set of rules globally around the game theory. In theory, the NBA moving to a 40-minute format could be a part of that. Incidentally, if you went to a 40-minute game with the minute around load manager and resting, it will be an equivalent of. I don't know the exact math. Take, taking like 50 game of the season, Silver said. I don't think most fans will be disappointed if the last 2 hour presentation instead of our game actually about 2 hours and 50 minutes. Then this is too long. This is too long. Before we continue, I want to see where. But we almost done. So, just the sake of accuracy, making every game 8 minutes shorter will be an equivalent of cutting 13.7 games for every team scheduled in the team of total minutes playing, and I doubt that it will have the same positive effect on the players' health as actually removing 13 or 14 games and spacing the schedule are more. But I'm not a sports scientist. Also, particularly in a high stake game, who to say teams would collectively cut their star players' minutes about 70% just because the game is about 70% shorter. Maybe Tyrese Maxey would still average around 38 minutes and just get much less in game rest than he does now. Personally, this is all what Adam Silver said. So this is what all Adam Silver trying to say. So personally, I like that the league has discussed in particular change, but that immediately because I watched a ton of game and this would make it more efficient. If you love the idea, thought, don't get too excited. Silver was carefully not to imply that it's about to become a reality. It's such a dramatic change to the game, according to Adam Silver. I think something like that will have been talked about over time. Silver also addressed the notion that the players are taking too many threes. So his comment about subject have virally recently in December, and he said that he didn't think the three line need to be removed back, and he wasn't sure that a sheer volume of 3 point was the problem earlier this month. He said many of the same thing, but added that we will tweak it and we will correct those issues. When Patrick suggested not entirely seriously that the league simply remove the 3 point line during the NBA Cup, Silver pointed out to the incredible skill level of today's players and didn't exactly take a position on whether or not they are taking too many threes. If there too many, if too much 3 point shooting in certain situations, maybe that's what Silva said. But also, I don't want to overreact to what we're seeing in the game because the game goes through transition, and I think that the game is incredible right now, day in and day out. I think some of the criticism is a bit unfair. And that goes back to my earlier point that the league need to do a better job teaching about the game so that there's real appreciation for what the people are seeing out there and the guest rating are fine. With just enormous global interest, people like the way they are seeing right now and on the floor. So I don't necessarily buy into the premise that it be a better game if you eliminate 3 point shooting. So this is why, according what Adam Silver said about the time the increasing the 12-minute quarter to 10-minute quarter. So if you don't know what he meant, he's trying to do what FIBA is doing or the Euro League is doing and the WNBA are doing. So 10 minutes in the first quarter, 10 minutes in the second quarter, same thing with the third and the fourth. It's like 40 minutes. What am I thought about this, people? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like when you change something that is unnecessary. It's very unnecessary to do that. So, um, so we, when I grew up with the NBA. I didn't grow up watching EuroLeague. So, as a kid, I remember watching basketball. It was 12 minutes. I just mean as a kid. So I don't have an issue with the 12 minute or 10 minute. My issue is the product of the NBA. And if you haven't seen it, the when I talked about why the NBA ratings um is going down, you can watch it. You can go to my YouTube channel, and I did talk about it about the ratings. And if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link on my on my chat down on my channel, so you can see what I said about the why the NBA ratings are down. Now let's go back with the 10 minutes thing. Do I think it's a good idea? No. It's tremendous a bad idea. Just leave the 12 minute thing. And me personally, I don't think they're gonna shorten the game to 82 game to a 60 70 plus game. Now the owner you're gonna fight with the owner of the NBA team, and I think it's gotta do with the money. So how much money are generated for the franchise, something like that. But my issue is just focusing on the NBA product because the product right now, Mr. Adam Silver, is not good. And there's a couple of reasons, but I don't want to give all the detail. You guys already know the detail. Like I said, I will put the link on why the ratings are down. So, so for my last thought, what I said, Mr. Adam Silver, don't do that. You are in a minority, and the majority of people who watching your product said no. I mean, look at the NBA All Star right now. The NBA All Star is trash, and that comes from me, who grew up watching the NBA, who love the game of basketball. Basketball has done everything for me. I may not be in the big league like the NBA or Euro League, but I had fun, and I love the game of basketball. I mean, I got you can see it, but I got I got all the Kobe shoes, the Jordan shoes, the bronze shoes, not all of them, but one of the bronze shoes, and all the NBA jersey throwbacks. That's why it captivated me. So, Mr. Allen Silver, please don't do that. Focus on the product of the NBA. That's all I'm gonna say. This before we move on, and I think this is it coming from, like I said, we don't want no change. Just just to fix the issue of sorry, sorry, but fix the issue of why the NBA, why the ratings are so low, and how can you fix this, especially in the NBA All Star. I mean, bring back the Christmas jersey, or do something with Thursday. I have an idea for that. If do like a thro- throwback Thursday, so a throwback Thursday jersey match. So every team who play on Thursday can have their throwback jersey, home or away. So it could be fun. This is my idea. If you want to see the rating, so that's my idea. Now moving on for our next topic. So I am pretty much excited for the Royal Rumble tomorrow. Actually, I just want to remind you that I am, and I already entered in February 1st. So this is going, like I said, I'll put it on. I will upload it on my YouTube channel. So this is I'm already on February 1st. So I will say this: today is the Royal Rumble. So I know overseas it's like Friday, it's like Friday. So I'm already Saturday. So so you know what you get is time zone. So I'll say this: the Royal Rumble is coming up. So I will give my prediction of the WWE fan that I am. My prediction. So there's not a lot of match. I left to try to upload it, update to matches. So I will share it right now. According to Bleacher Report, so this a Royal Rumble match according to the project. So you start with the 30 woman Royal Rumble. Um, who do I think who's gonna win? So I'll give my prediction. You know, Charlotte Flair, she's coming back. So maybe Becky Lynch will come back. We don't know. So she probably gonna come back. So who's my opinion who's gonna win? I personally, my head's trying to say Bianca Belair, but my heart trying to say it's picking Io Sky. I think so. I'll go with my heart. I'll go Io Sky gonna win the Royal Rumble, but don't be surprised if Bianca Belair gonna win, because I think that we need to see a match between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. I think that make perfect sense to personal sense, because this is coming from a fan. I think Bianca Belair probably gonna be the favorite to go against Rhea Ripley. So that means who's gonna face um Tiffany Stratton for the SmackDown. So I think I heard a lot of rumblings that Charlotte Flair will face Tiffany Stratton, which I don't have an issue with it. So I think Tiffany Stratton is um probably the favorite to face Charlotte Flair. So for the women's championship championship on SmackDown for WrestleMania. So like I said, I think probably Io Sky or Bianca Belair is gonna win this, but my heart says Io Sky. But I'm not gonna be surprised if Bianca Belair wins. And who's gonna face Tiffany Stratton? Who's gonna face Tiffany Stratton for the title? I think Charlotte Flair is the one. That's what I will go. Next match is the WWE Tag Team Championship 2 out of 3 fall DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns. So who do I think are gonna win? I think DIY is gonna retain the title. I think they're gonna retain the title and in the 2 out of 3 fall. They're gonna go 2-1 against the Motor City Machine Gun. So I got DIY winning it. Now for the Undisputed Championship ladder match, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. I think Cody Rhodes will retain the title. So it's not gonna be surprised. It's gonna be easy. Cody Rhodes retained the title against Kevin Owens. Now, final match, the 30 man Royal Rumble. This is gonna be very, very, very difficult. On the other hand, you got Cena. He's starting his retirement. CM Punk got issue with Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre got an issue with Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Sami Zayn got an issue with everybody. And Roman Reigns, he also got an issue with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. Who who's gonna win this? Unless The Rock comes in the Royal Rumble, which I think is gonna be a surprise. I will go with CM Punk. I think CM Punk is gonna win the Royal Rumble. I'll put my money on CM Punk, who's gonna win the Royal Rumble. So so I got CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble match. So those are my picks for the Royal Rumble to headline WrestleMania. So I hope my prediction are right. So I don't think there will be title change on neither of those two matches that I predicted with the tag team champions or in the ladder match. So I hope those predictions is gonna happen. I'm not gonna be surprised. Moving on the topic right now. If you don't know, Kelly Clark um uh had decided not to participate in the 3-point contest, according to ESPN. So so I want to share it right now, like always, and read this according to ESPN. So let's read this together. So Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark wants her first 3-point contest to come at the WNBA All-Star weekend in Indianapolis and will not participate in the special challenge during the NBA All-Star weekend. Her representative at Axial Sports said it on Wednesday. So there has been speculation that Clark might participate in a contest similar to the one from last year with NBA All-Star Weekend when Warriors star Warriors star Steph Curry and New York Liberty champion Ines in the NBA of the WNBA three-point challenge. Curry and Ionescu have had a conversation to return a variation of the shootout, which could include other NBA WNBA players such as Klay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks. According to ESPN, Ionescu told the Associated Press earlier this month she planned to be in the NBA All-Star festivity, but she declined to elaborate whether she will be involved with any on-court activity. An NBA All-Star Weekend is scheduled on February 14th to February 16th in San Francisco. The WNBA All-Star will be held on July 18, 19 in Greenbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Clark has a busy weekend ahead of her in Ottawa. Jersey will be retired on Sunday after the Hawkeye face a number 4 seed USC. What is my thought on it? Good, good, because why wasting my time going to the NBA All Star if you know the All Star is pretty much not exciting to watch, except for the 3 point. And also I'll say the celebrity All Star, and I do love watching the HBCU All Star and the Steel Challenge too. But the dunk contest and the All Star negative, so it's pretty dead right now. So yes, she is tired, and, and I don't blame her one bit at all. Just rest, and focus on the season. So that's all I'm gonna say about the Kenley Clark situation. So I don't blame her for that, and and I hope that I can't wait to see her jersey retire. So with the USC, so against the with Iowa, her alma mater team that she brought to the NCAA championship finals. So so kudos to her for doing that. I got no problem with it. Uh, for uh, I would for the final topic of this podcast, I will talk about Bronny James. I didn't have time to do it yesterday, but I will talk about it right now. So if you haven't uh uh seen the game, the Sixer crushed the Los Angeles Lakers 118 to 104 against, and a loss against the Sixer without Joel Embiid, without Paul George, and probably in the final minute, Coach JJ Redick put Bronny James in the game. I mean, that was very bad. So today, 2 days before that, actually 3 days now because I'm February. On first take, Stephen A. Smith had to say something about the Bronny James situation. So I want to read this. Then I'm gonna probably share the video with you guys. So let's read it. Let's read it. This article from the playoff news .com. So this is what it said. So Los Angeles Lakers rookie guard Ronnie James played 15 minutes in a loss against Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday night of failing to score again. His average performance allowed Stephen A. Smith to make a request to his father, LeBron James. Yes, Stephen A. Smith did talked about it on first take, and and he is pretty much criticizing LeBron and JJ Redick, um, Sorry, oh, I don't know why I got the quote, but Stephen A. Smith did criticize, uh, uh, not criticizing Bronny James, criticize LeBron James to put him in that situation that he should not be playing. So the ESPN analytic criticized the 20-year-old guard for his poor shooting and advised him to play in the G League. Stephen A. Smith wanted the Laker legend to stop favoring his son, Bronny James, who is producing an average season. The rookie is now 1 for 16 on the season, over 40 minutes. Think about it, 40 minutes of action. Bronny went 0 from 5 from the field against the Sixers. His presence on the court has no impact on the Lakers' overall performance. Bronny James was part of the discussion on the ESPN show First Take, and Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. According to him, I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this, Stephen A. Smith. So, so let's listen. The uh, on First Take. So this is a clip from 3 days, 3 days uh 3 days after before after the game. So let's listen to it.
One of the top two or three players in the history of basketball. Number two, a treasure to the game of basketball that we should and will always use. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night, the Griffeys in attendance, father son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time, an absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings. Molly, Doggy, put them up on the screen because I want to see their face when I see this. Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. In 13 games, he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field, 0 for 7 from three-point range. How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet. And I'm saying this with compassion. I'm asking the greatest player in the game, one of the top two players in the history of basketball, an ambassador for this game, the face of the league, a four-time champion, a guy that's going to 10 NBA finals, one of the greatest we have ever or will ever see, who is a basketball savant. You know better than me, better than Doggy, better than JJ Redick, better than Rob Pelinka, better than any basketball analysis or analyst that exists. You know what these numbers mean. You know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League in Europe and everywhere else, what kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this.
Yep, and he's not wrong. But let's continue. So, as I continue to read this, that Stephen A. Smith want Bronny James to play in G League only. So the NBA analyst questioned Bronny James' selection in the NBA, and he stated that the Laker rookie is playing in the league just because of his father, LeBron James. Stop it. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. Steve Smith continued. Stephen A. reflects on the positive story of a father-son duo appearing in the NBA game, but he wants to move on from this narrative. The first game of the season opening night, the Griffith in attendance, father and son duo playing in the sorry, NBA game for the first time. An absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. The 57-year-old added. So this is what Bronny's stat is: 0.3 point per game, 0.3 assist per game, 0.4 rebound per game, 6.3 in the field goal. So, Smithfield Bronny James has a potential, but he belongs to the G League, where the player grown and earned NBA selection. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong as you hone your skill and you get better and you legitimately earn. Sorry, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James, and I will be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish nothing but the best. Stephen A. Smith feels Bronny James is not ready for the NBA, but he's LeBron James' son. According to the ESPN analytic, continue. Everybody knows what attention that brings. How are you doing him a favor? We know that he's not ready yet. So So I want to read this one last time. What question? Will Bronny James play against Washington Wizards? Bronny James poor outing against Philadelphia 76ers raised question on JJ Redick, who sent him in early in the first quarter. The Lakers managed can take a bold step and send the rookie guard back to the G League. His his stats has been extremely underwhelming. Bronny James, like I said, I read the stat. You can read it. I already read the stat. So, however, he returned to the Lakers roster after a career high 31 point in the G League, but he failed to replicate the same against the Philadelphia 76ers. There is a high chance that he might not see Bronny James playing against the Washington Wizards on Thursday night, which I will look at it first. Um, the South Bay Lakers will face Texas Legend again on January 30th. So I think they're gonna play Friday at the UCLA Health Training Center, and the rookie guard can return to the G League with this game. So let me look at the stat. Um. Uh. Uh. The stat of Bronny James uh, against the Washington Wizard against the Wizard. I believe they played yesterday. So let me look at it. The game. Let me look at the game and the stats if I can find it because the Wizard uh, beat the Wizard in a blowout. So I don't I don't attend it. So did Bronny James played? Yes, he did. So this is the stat against the Washington Wizards. He had 5 points, um, 5 point, 2 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal. and he shot for 1 and 6 in the field goal, 0 and 2 in the 3 point, 3 for 3 in the free throw. So he played 12 minutes in this game. One of my thoughts about what Stephen A. Smith said, I think he's absolutely, positively correct. And I'm sorry, all the Bronny James fan, if you're hearing this, but this is reality at its best. Bronny James is not ready for the league. I know it. Stephen A. Smith know it, and a lot of those peers know it. That he's not ready. Yes, he had the cardiac arrest during his college year, and he didn't play. He didn't play. In college, I mean, he doesn't have enough experience in the college. I think what's going on is that we want to see a feel good story, a story of father and son who's playing in the NBA for the first time in the history of the NBA. That is a beautiful story. The father and son Griffey came to see him play. You know, I don't think he scored a point. If somebody can remember, leave your comment on my YouTube channel. So, like I said, I think I am rooting for Bronny James. But let's face the reality. He is not an NBA ready. He should have gone back to in college. I know it. A lot of people know it. And what you doing, LeBron? And I'm not just blaming LeBron. So, but I was also blaming JJ Redick and Rob Pelinka. But let's start with LeBron James. LeBron, you know you're exposing your son in front of the world. The world is seeing it. And I'm saying this because I'm older. If Monty was my little brother, I would say it to his face. You should have been in the NBA and you suck. He will progress. Don't get me wrong, but he does not. Is not an NBA ready yet. He should have stayed in college. And what LeBron is doing is sabotaging this little boy. Actually, sabotaging his son. And what LeBron is doing is a disservice. So that's number one. I blame LeBron James. Two, I blame JJ Redick because you put him in a situation as a coach. You put him in a situation that you know he's not ready. If he's not ready to be in the NBA yet, put him back in the G Leagues. Let him stay for good for the rest of the season, and and let him progress. Let his game flourish. So he can be Eve in the NBA. And also, I blame Rob Pelinka. You accepted that Bronny James should be in the roster, and you know goddamn well he wasn't ready. So Rob Pelinka is also your fault too. And I said this. I am rooting for Bronny James. I clapping all day for Bronny James to be a good player. But in this situation, Bronny James, he's not ready. And before I do my last topic, and before that, and also that we end this podcast, Stephen A. Smith, and I was listening to this live on First Take. He told a story of Larry Holmes facing Joe Frazier, his son. And right before, and I watched the clip also of the boxing match. Right before the match, a reporter asked him a question about if Joe Frazier's son, I believe it was Marvin Frazier. Yeah, Marvin Frazier. Marvin Frazier will beat him for the World Heavyweight Championship. And you know what his response is? And some props. What the ladies are doing in the Unrivaled, it is fantastic. I mean, even though I don't, it's gonna be live on YouTube. You can watch it. But what they're doing, it is fantastic. So my props to you ladies, hoopers, and I hope this continue in the off season so that the WNBA player doesn't need to go playing overseas. So shout out to you ladies. So this is the end of this podcast, of the part two of my podcast. So make sure, like I said, leave your so follow me on my social media on Instagram, Pascal underscore Mayala underscore 15. And also same thing with threads. But also you can follow me on X formerly Twitter at Belly versus PMM. I'm on Twitter formerly, X formerly Twitter. If you want to listen to this podcast, like I said, listen to our Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music. Listen to this podcast on my YouTube channel. So you could do me a favor, like, subscribe, leave your comment on my video on the community, and also I will thank everybody from across the world, from Canada, United States, Ireland, France, other places that I missed for listening to this podcast. So I would say this. Thank you very much, and I see you next time.